here we go.
Nah, I ain't never been with a body. She calm, so I added to the tally.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shades of Sasha. If you're new, take a seat with your crown on, and welcome to the gang. And if you're ready for the gang, you already know what time it is. What's good, baby? So today is all about this unit, so if you're here for that, just keep on watching. So the unit came packaged in this purple and white bag. It had like a stock card, and then all it had inside was the unit wrapped in a plastic bag. Then it had like the foam and stuff inside of the center of it, just to make sure everything is in stock. Well, intact, not in stock. So for the most part, I'm just gonna open the unit and just kind of show y'all what it looks like. This is what the lace is working with. It wasn't terrible, but I always say put your lace on, well, put your wig on so you can see what lace it is that you were working with. And I kind of knew, it was like, do I want to bleach? Do I not want to bleach? In the end, I did decide to bleach the knots, just because I was like, I want this to lay as flawless as possible and just kind of really see what it is that you all will be working with. So this is me just trying it on, making sure that everything is going to fit and it's going to work right, and just kind of noticing the parting spaces that I'm going to use. So for the most part, whenever I'm bleaching my lace, I just kind of flip my hair over. I put everything in a mixing bowl. This is the developer and the cream. Just mix it all together, and then I just go ahead and I lay everything, you know, on my lace. Usually I would have used like a brush, but for some reason I just could not find my brush. The brush specifically for this, but I will be dropping a how to bleach your frontal or how to bleach your closure tutorial, so just stay tuned for that. So after I do this, I just wash my hair out with shampoo and conditioner. I typically use the Shimmer Lights shampoo and conditioner, that's the purple one, and then I just kind of like let my hair air dry, and then I'm going to just get to the installation. So for the most part, just chill until we get to that section. So for the next step in this process, I'm just going to go ahead and use my Morphe Trailblazer and just go ahead and dip everything inside of my lace. This is after it's washed, bleached, air dry, and that's what you're just going to be working with. I'm going to then just cut the back lace off because I never use it. I genuinely do not see any point to it. If y'all know what the point is, let me know. So I then try it on again just to make sure everything looks good, and for the most part the lace did just melted and just looked so fire, and I was proud of myself because I was like, yo, like, you did that. But I'm gonna give my feedback about the lace itself towards the end, so make sure if you're here for the feedback, you just stay tuned towards the end to kind of, you know, hear my final thoughts on it. So I'm just going to measure everything out just to see how it looks, just to make sure that everything fits and it works. This part is important to be very delicate and patient when you're doing it. So I just kind of clip everything up so it's just out of the way, and I can see exactly what it is that I will be working with, because I want my wig to be able to just kind of have a glueless effect, even if it is not a glueless wig. And so the way you achieve that is that you have to make sure you cut by where your ear is perfectly. And that's not even because I'm a perfectionist. That's because I'm just being real with you, that you have to make sure that right where your ear is about to start, you find that specific section that you need to cut off, and you need to make sure that you cut that and just make sure everything is going to line up. So that's what you see me doing here, just parting everything out just to make sure that I'm getting the right measurements, and I'm going above my earlobes and just gonna cut around everything and cut that extra piece of frontal that's just not necessary. So this is it. After you see, like, I've sectioned it off, I've parted it, I know exactly what it is that I'm working with. I'm gonna go in with my scissor and I'm just going to make sure that I'm cutting right around it, and it's going to sit perfectly right there. Like, you see what I'm talking about? The moment you cut it off, it should just sit in the section like it is a glueless wig, even though it isn't. So to achieve that, this is the one tip that I can tell you is gonna just work for everything. It's just gonna make the blend and just like how you actually style your wig work so much better. So you just want to make sure that that lines up, and you're gonna do the same thing again on the other side. Just make sure you're taking your time to watch what I'm saying. Take a comb, make the part, and just do the measurements to just make sure everything line up correctly. I would say use a rat tail comb just so you have that perfect parting measurement that you will need when you're doing this. And just make sure you're going slow and you're taking your time. Like, slow and steady does win the race. You don't have to rush at everything. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do this same process again, making sure that I'm looking in my mirror and that I'm lining up everything and that it's gonna fit correctly. And then I'm just going to cut it off again with my scissor, and then I'll just kind of show y'all what it is that I'm working with after that.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me.
So for the most part, I'm then gonna go in with this bed head, and honestly, it's been just like my go-to when it comes to making sure that I lay my frontals or any of my wigs. I genuinely do not like glue on my hairline. It's just, I don't know, it's just messy. I don't have time for that. 2022, the best cleanup method is just making sure that it's just gonna work for me and it's gonna be quick and easy. So I'm just gonna spray all of this around my hairline, and it dries very, very quickly. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually shocked. This is one of these things that from TikTok everyone was like, you know, saying how much you need to get it, how good it is, and for the first time it wasn't a lie. So I definitely do recommend. So yeah, after I just do that, I just comb my hair back, and I'm gonna use an elastic band just to make sure that I make my hair lay as flat and seamlessly as possible. If there's any tool I recommend, it is definitely this tool if you're someone that install wigs a lot. So I'm just gonna put that on, and I just let it chill for a few minutes. While it's chilling, all I'm gonna do is just put some hair foam or hair mousse in my hair and just wet it with water just to kind of get the curl pattern back a little bit. And I'm just gonna be chilling until then before I get into the cutting off the unit. So after I just take this off, you see how much it just lays, like, it's so perfect. So then I'm just, my little dancey dance, so cute. So now I'm gonna go in again, clip everything back, and for the most part, what I am gonna do is go ahead and start cutting. So there's two different methods you can use. You can either use a scissor or you can use a eye brush, razor, or like any other small jagged edge razor comb or something that you have to just like make the cuts. I always cut my lace in like 4 sections and cut it off in smaller pieces. I think it's easier for you to work with, and I think it makes it more clean and precise. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this part where I'm just like cutting off everything, and then I'm gonna show you again like the other little comb thing that I'm talking about in case you have that and you just don't want to use a scissor because you don't trust yourself. But for the most part, I'm just gonna do that and cut around everything just to make sure everything is like laying as to the best that it can, and just making sure everything is just going to be as clean and seamless as possible. I am going to also do a little cutting towards the front of the lace because I was going about thinking about the point that I personally felt like the front of the lace, it was just too much. Like I didn't need all of that extra lace that was the coverage in the front. So I was really like going back and forth about it in my brain, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see what it is, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm fucked. And that's pretty much the thought process I had, and I was like, let me just trust myself. And so this extra piece is the part that I'm talking about. Like I'm just parting everything out because I just did not think it was necessary. I think it was just kind of like an extra layer of the lace that was just like making it look kind of tacky and too much in my forehead, and I didn't like it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut around that area, and always kind of using the zigzag motion. Even if you are using a scissor, you don't want to just go straight across, because it's just going to turn out to just look like, you know, what the hell is on your forehead. It just look like you just cut the lace and then just put it on. You want it to try and look as realistic as possible. So I'm gonna then go ahead again with the bed head and just kind of like make sure all the sides is done. Then I'm gonna actually do another trick that I think is important if you want your lace to lay as flat and seamlessly as possible. And all that is that you're gonna take your rat tail comb and you're just going to spray the tip of the comb, and then you're just going to use the spray on that tip and just making sure that you're putting it on every single part of your lace. So right here, after I've put it on the elastic band, I'm taking it off, everything looks flawless. But this is the extra step that I'm talking about that you would do. Spray the rat tail comb, put it on the edges, and then you're just going to go ahead again, and you can put down the elastic band if you want to, or sometimes you honestly don't, and it's just going to make a hell of a difference. Pretty much after this, I'm done. I'm just going to go ahead and install the unit. I'm going to tell y'all my final thoughts on the unit, but this is how everything came and it lays out. And I have been wearing this unit almost every single day for at least like a month now, and she still has the fullness. It's still good, so it is definitely a good investment. Because by the time I'm actually recording this voiceover, it's been a little while. It's been a month since I had it, and I can honestly say I actually do really enjoy the unit. I think it's something quick and easy, and it's something that if you want to invest in and just kind of have something that you can have for on the go, it's definitely a good buy. But I'm just going to style the unit, and I'm going to tell y'all like my overall thoughts about everything so far. So thank y'all so much, and just stay tuned until the end. So this is the finished look. I'll come closer so y'all can see. She lays fairly well. I'm going to kind of go over the specs and everything. It is 20 inches. It is from Amazon. The price of everything, including shipping, was $110.49. It is a 13x4 water wave lace front wig. So as you saw, I did bleach my knots. What I can say is the frontal isn't as full as I would like it to be. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5 to like a 7. It does shed, but it is curly hair, so just keep that in mind. Like, if you get curly hair, you're gonna expect it to shed, and like this is how much. It's not like alarming, so just keep that in mind. The feel, the texture, it is very soft. If you want the curl pattern back, I would just make sure that you utilize some type of foam. I have the Lotta body foam. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna use a white tooth comb. And that just kind of like tames it and put it in whatever direction you want it to, and just spray some water and you'll be good to go. So honestly, when it comes to like how the hair is and how you can take care of it and stuff, it's fairly good. Like nothing's wrong with it. The only thing that I said is that I do think the front of here of the frontal is really thick, but then on the sides it's just not as thick as I would like it to be. I would have just preferred the consistency of, if this is gonna be thick, just make everything thick. Let me pluck it to just finesse what I want to finesse. But Other than that, there's no other comments that I really have. But if there's something that you're interested in me trying, just let me know in the comment section below. So thank y'all so much for watching and supporting your girl, and I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.